Welcome back to Magus in the Media, and today we are breaking down Self-Evident by the band Puscifer from their new album, Normal Isn't. And isn't that very curious? Today's day and age, isn't it normal? Isn't? It's a very curious statement that demands a lot of unpacking, but today we're going to listen and unpack the song Self-Evident, meaning things that seem factual and seem to be out there in the world that are plain and out in the open and should be very clear and concise to everyone in the world. And it seems to be self-evident, and yet it isn't normal. Nothing about today's day and age is normal, which is then why artists are making music to kind of help pull out these very interesting day and age that we live in, just to really let you see in the mirror. It's really important that we don't put on and project out what we think they're saying, and really just feel it and project out what we think we need to do for change in this day and age. So no matter what anyone in Puscifer and any of these individuals in this band, when they were writing the lyrics or the songs, it's fascinating to know that what they're doing is they're pulling out something from their creative juices, from the imagination, and really trying to understand their own thoughts, their feelings, and their emotions in this strange ocean of chaos, as Timothy Leary states. So today, let's see how self-evident it really is, because it really isn't normal. And here we go. Already, I want to stop this and state how beautiful you get that goth punk live audience, the deep, dark, purple, green, olive, all these different blues and the colors that are coming on. It's quite gorgeous. They have that Beetlejuice-esque style costuming and makeup on, really showing that it's what's going on isn't quite self-evident, and we are trying to break ourselves free from the normality of everyday world. That drumming is really moving us forward. It is showing itself quite self-evident in that pacing as the guitar is building itself up and then descending back down. So you have this beautiful waveform moving in and out. And just want to stop that right there and just make sure everybody knows, back in the day, Maynard came out with an interview, I think it was on MTV, and they asked him, how did he write his lyrics? And he says, I think it's really important that I write down everything I hate about myself, every disgusting, dark thing that I hate about the world, actually. I then turn in and make sure I understand it's actually about myself, and then we get something really interesting.
For self-reflection, so really just going off on the deep end, going, what is it I don't like about you? What is it that bugs me about you? Why do I dislike what you do and how you do it? And as soon as I get all that stuff on paper and write it down, I just kind of turn the you into me, and you really come up with some interesting things.
And so claiming right away, you're an idiot, you embody every bit of it. It's one of those things where it's really good to actually look back at yourself in the mirror, no matter who he's talking about, politician to person in Hollywood to whoever it is, the neighbor you dislike. It's really important that, yes, you can project it outward, but really look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're the reason you got here.
Concrete evidence, minimal due diligence. We concluded what is obvious. You're a bunghole.
And that's a beautiful drum beat with that guitar in the background. And still, their outfits truly remind me of Beetlejuice when they're around the dinner table right before they get sucked into their shrimp cocktails and Beetlejuice pops up. Everyone's wearing that fantastic gothic style kind of fun costumes to show that more haunting style punk style, rebellious character, that Belendia Black, the really goth punk. I keep saying it. That's exactly what it is.
Concrete evidence, minimal due diligence. We've concluded what is obvious. Bloody drongo.
And then Bloody Drongo is actually Australian for you're an idiot. And so it's true, no matter who he's projecting this on in politics, right? The president or Congress, no matter who it is, it's true. They are bloody idiots. And it's time to really stand up and wake up, but realize that the only true idiot is the one that you look in the mirror every day. That's amazing. I really love that. That breakdown right there, that's amazing. That breakdown really slows down the essence of the song so we can truly start to hear what he's trying to say, even though we can already hear it when he's saying in these lyrics, right? Your voice induces migraines, your presence party poops the entire room. When these people are around, it sucks everything dry. And I'm really wanting us to look at the mirror in this and realize that there are parts of ourselves that when we walk around with certain states of mind, it seems self-evident that the world is doing what it's doing, but really you need to look in the mirror and realize the self-evidence is that you need to raise yourself up higher than everything else, and that you are the idiot and that you are a bunghole. That bunghole ideal coming from that Beavis and Butthead era that Maynard really was growing up in, and doing stuff with MTV and his early 90s bands, Tool and A Perfect Circle and different things like that. But the music as it builds itself up and then it slows down where you get that rocking back and forth with the guitar and the drums. It's really gorgeous. That guitar right there, so nice. And Corina's haunting voice as it moves back and forth. I will state when he says your mucus, like Corina and everyone, and Maynard and everyone else starts to actually dance like that globular mucus kind of thing. And we can all feel it when certain people walk in the room or certain people are talking, as he states in the lyric, your nature is pugnacious, your temperament deplorable. It leaves residue. So mucus-like, it leaves a residue. He's really trying to get you to understand that, yes, there are people out there that think that and act like that. But really, I think it's so important when we're listening to these things that we take a look at our own reflection, because I think that's where true change comes. That you should understand that you're an idiot, and myself included, and you embody every bit of it, right? And then it comes back around where we hear where we're moving into here. And we get that slow down again, and then the rebuild back up with the guitar and the drum, the jungle drumming. With the Puscifer logo in the background, the lights, it's so gorgeous. The harmony and the melody with that feminine vocals in the background. You embody every bit of it. You feel like And as he's saying these lyrics, Corina around in the background is having that all surrounding, haunting feminine voice that she truly brings the presence in and surrounds us with that voluminous, right? This fulfilling sound. Maynard's vocals, that masculine vocal, really pointing out the mercurial logic, trying to place words on a situation that seems quite self-evident to him or to whoever's looking, but may not be self-evident to everybody else, because we have to remember normal isn't. Whatever is normal, it doesn't quite seem normal in this day and age. There is no such thing as normality, which is why that is starting to seem quite self-evident, that everything is in overdrive. You feel like a wet mudslide. And as it goes, the music is really carrying us along for that tune. It's just beautiful, everything as it moves through it. That's you. That's you. Look in the mirror. That's you. Beautiful. Just plain beautiful. As always, Puscifer nails it again. And again, Puscifer comes out with another single, another brilliant showdown of how quite self-evident it can be when things seem so self-evident to you and to me. And again, yes, he's probably talking about the political stage that's going on right now, because it is so ridiculous. Nothing seems to matter because everything is crazy as this ocean of chaos seems to swirl around straight down the toilet like a wet mudslide. These lyrics pretty state it quite plainly, and I want you to realize that no matter what kind of hatred we point out there in the world, that technically when you look inside the mirror, look at your own reflection, reflect and make sure and contemplate that these lyrics are, yes, talking about what's going on in the social structures and the cultural war that's moving, but really what is self-evident is that you and me are truly the idiot, because we're allowing ourselves to get caught up with the emotions of this globular muck of nonsense that is continuing to show itself and represent itself. And if Puscifer is truly the id and the ego and the anima colliding as the unconscious of these artists is trying to understand what is happening in today's day and age, that rebellious spirit of Puscifer as these artists try to understand and really collect their artistry and put out amazing music, I think they've done it again and they've hit it pretty spot on. So thank you. We're gonna continue breaking down such brilliant music, the likes of Puscifer, A Perfect Circle, and Tool. I also love Radiohead, and we're gonna add all kinds of music as this goes down, as long as it hits that magic, that myth, and that philosophical, so we can truly know how to walk around within, again, as Timothy Leary states, this ocean of chaos. As Terence McKenna states, we must understand that this is what it looks like when a planet gives birth. So please, if you like this kind of thing, subscribe, like, and share. Magus in the Media is here to help break down the myth, the magic, and the meaning in the stories that you and I love. And until next time.